Please give a welcome to Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRose.
Mr. Secretary, last night's debate, the president, of course, came up with a number of accusations that there's widespread voter fraud throughout the country. Do you buy into that at all?
Not in Ohio, and I've been clear about that. The president's got to worry about all 50 states. My focus is on Ohio, and I know that here in Ohio, absentee voting is trusted, it's secure. It's something we've been doing for a long time in Ohio, and Ohioans trust it, and they know it's an easy way to cast their ballot. And so, again, a lot of things that people have to say about elections administration, but when you really look at the way elections run, certainly in a state like Ohio, it's a trustworthy process that people know and understand. When this is over, Ohioans will know and trust that they saw a free and fair election that reflected the true will of the people of this state. When it comes to absentee voting, the 4 safeguards that I mentioned in there, first of all, you have to request a ballot. You have to prove your identity when you request a ballot. We don't just mail a ballot to everybody. They do that in other states, and it has led to some concerns in other places. In Ohio, you got to prove who you say you are, not only when you request your ballot, but you got to prove your identity when you send your ballot back in. We maintain accurate voter rolls, we prohibit ballot harvesting, and we allow Ohioans to track their ballots. You can go to our website, and you can make sure that it's been received by the Board of Elections, and you know that your voice will be heard and your vote will be counted. An online absentee ballot request system is a great idea, but telling boards of elections to open a JPEG or a PDF that somebody's emailing them to them really is a recipe for disaster. In fact, the same day that the lower court had originally ruled on that, saying that the board should open all these attachments, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security that very same day issued a reminder that boards of elections should never open email attachments from somebody they weren't expecting or recognize. It is the classic way for a hacker to get a virus into your system again, and it's also kind of a hokey way to do it. I mean, opening a bunch of attachments with JPEGs and PDFs to try to process absentee ballot requests is not a wise idea. What we need is to pass Senate Bill 191, a piece of legislation that has bipartisan support that I've been a longtime supporter of, and I hope the legislature, when they come back after the election, is willing to do that. And then Ohio, for our next election, will truly be ready to have an online absentee ballot request system, not this hokey thing that was proposed in the courts.
Question about the drop boxes and so forth, and allowing commissioners in counties to expand maybe locations of those real quick.
What I have to do is follow the law in Ohio. I'm not going to comment on the pending litigation that's out there. Title 35 of the Ohio Revised Code is like my Boy Scout handbook. It's what I turn to. It tells me how to do my job. And the Ohio Revised Code says that the way you return an absentee ballot is that you mail it, you personally deliver it to the director of the Board of Elections, or you have a family member personally deliver it to the director of the Board of Elections. And they actually end that section of law by saying ballots may be transmitted through no other means. That, to me, the clear letter of the law is what I have to carry out, and the courts will decide what they want to decide on that, and we'll be waiting to hear what they come up with. I'll say this, though. For a long time, Ohioans have known when you vote absentee, the easiest way is to mail it in. And what Ohioans should do, the 2 million Ohioans that are requesting absentee ballots right now, when they get those ballots starting in early October next week, when the boards of elections start sending them out, they should return their ballot by mail and then go to voteohio.gov and check to make sure the Board of Elections got it. That's the right way to return an absentee ballot.
And so, as far as the election integrity is concerned in Ohio, you're very confident that we're prepared for these unprecedented times, I guess.
Absolutely. And it's because of these dedicated bipartisan teams of elections officials at every county board of elections that I can say that. We've got good rules in place, we've got good laws in place, and we've got some really dedicated people that are going to enforce those rules and laws and make sure that when Ohioans show up to vote, whether it's starting next Tuesday with a whole month of early voting or starting next Tuesday with a whole month of absentee voting, or whether they show up on November 3rd, it's going to be a trustworthy process. And when the votes are tabulated, not just that unofficial result on election night, but when the official results are tabulated, Ohioans will know and trust that that was the true reflection of the will of the people of Ohio, period, full stop.
I like a bank that's a pillar in my community.
I like a bank so cutting edge, they have a lab branch.
We are so alike.
Well, we do both bank at Farmers National Bank.
Farmers.
Stand strong.